if you get one point from this conversation, is just if your intuition or gut instinct or however you want to call it tells you to like, no, I really need to try this, even everyone will tell you no or question you, just go for it. Just listen to your gut, because there's something you need to explore there. That doesn't mean it will be success, or it doesn't mean anything. It just means there's something you need to explore and see what will come out of it, where you're gonna end up.
Welcome, everyone, lovely Making Waves community. I'm thrilled to introduce today's guest, a powerhouse in strategic marketing and an actual creative at heart. Please welcome Veronica. Veronica has over 17 years of experience in marketing. Her superpower, connecting the dots to create impactful marketing strategies. As the founder of Spin Ideas, a strategic marketing agency, she helps startups, scale-ups, and SMEs transform their stories into powerful marketing campaigns. Veronica's expertise spans a wide range of industries, from tech and coaching to housing, events, and chemical sectors. She firmly believes in the power of strategic partnerships and advocates collaboration over competitions. I love that. Her philosophy is simple. By working together, we can create a massive impact, and authenticity is the key to truly reaching your audience. In 2018, Veronica partnered with Lena to create Base, a scale-up hub. Their mission? Well, to unite entrepreneurs, managers, and experts, helping them build relationships, grow smartly, and elevate their businesses while contributing to each other's successes. Veronica is passionate about sharing her knowledge through talks, workshops, and direct client engagement. Today, she is here to share her insights and strategies with us. So get ready to be inspired and take notes. So let's dive in and make some waves, Veronica. Welcome to Making Waves podcast and YouTube channel.
Hey, Anna, lovely to be here. Thank you for including me.
Yes, and is there anything, because there's so much in your story, is there anything that you would like to add that I haven't mentioned and it's important to your story?
I feel I need to simplify it. Like hearing it, and always by simplifying it, I think you make it more accessible. So how I define what we offer, what I offer, and what's my together with my team at Spin Ideas, we are just offering a different perspective. And that perspective is stop copying what other people are doing. Just look inside. Let's create your story. We start with what makes you different, and we build from that. So exactly like we said, I'm a firm believer in collaborating, not in competing, in actually joining forces, in being creative and being you, basically, because that automatically places you and your business differently, because we are all different. We are all thinking in a different way because of our background, expertise, experience, culture. So there are so many things that influence us. So don't make wave. If you want to make wave, be you instead of just going on a different wave that already exists by copying what others are doing.
Mm-hmm. Beautiful, thank you. So what I'm hearing, it's simplify, be authentic, and collaborate instead of compete. So, Veronica, I'm just really curious if there was any particular moment in your career, in your life, that said like, okay, this is what I want to do, and this is how I want to do. Was it any particular event or conversation or any inspiration, or it just happened over the years? I'm really curious.
I think every single step led me here, and probably if you take one of the steps out, I will be I don't know, in a different country or doing something different. I like to say, so I strongly believe, and I always say this, entrepreneurship, it's a lifestyle. So it's not that it's not a job. It's not a 9 to 5. It's not. It's really a lifestyle because it does impact every aspect of your life, your family, the way you work, the way you earn money. Is you can't not think about it. You will realize your close friends, they're not only entrepreneurs, but the majority are entrepreneurs if I look around them. And the type of discussions you have, and it does impact you because it's a way of being. And back home, I'm Romanian. When I had my first business idea and I launched my first business, I didn't even know that that's entrepreneurship. Like it wasn't a well-known concept, but I felt this, I don't know if it's need or drive, or I got energy by creating this. And my first business was an e-commerce platform selling fashion designs, clothing on internet. Was at the beginning, and I was actually organizing fashion shows to promote it, and I was coming up with different ideas, and I was having a blast, honestly. was I learned a lot. I made every mistake that you can imagine, of course, still making them. But I'm realizing it's actually, everybody's telling you it's about the journey and not the destination. And when I'm in that position, I don't really realize it. But when somebody asks me to take a step back and we discuss about it, then you realize that actually you need to have fun, because otherwise it can be very stressful.
Absolutely. And I really like when you said about your first business, it seems like that you had a blast, even though it's many mistakes. But I think that is so crucial to enjoy what you're doing.
Yes. And it's what I'm learning now, actually. So I was 23, I think, something like that. Now I'm 42. It's also a matter of energy and managing your energy, because I could do so many things at that age. I can still do a lot of things, but I'm realizing energy is different, and you want to put the energy in more things, and you're more selective with where you want to go and how you want to do and how do you want to show up. When you're younger, you just want to experiment things and you're not really thinking about the consequences so much. This can be a good thing. Actually, I still do things now, and I do invite everyone, if you get one point from this conversation, is just if your intuition or gut instinct, or however you want to call it, tells you to, like, no, I really need to try this, even everyone will tell you no or question you, just go for it. Just listen to your gut, because there's something you need to explore there. That doesn't mean it will be a success, or it doesn't mean anything. It just means there's something you need to explore and see what will come out of it, where you're going to end up.
Absolutely. And I love that you're connecting business and the gut feeling, because sometimes for many people it's so opposite and it's so on the other spectrum. But would you say that you use a lot of your gut feeling, or a lot in your
But this I
business?
learned. I can't say I used to at the beginning, but in the last, let's say, 5, 6, 7 years, I started doing it more and more, and to believe in it. But I think this comes also with experience and start to know oneself, and it's normal at the beginning not to do it. But the more you start listening to it, and you trust it, and you just apply it, things are changing.
Yeah.
And again, we go to that energy, right? Because if you enter in something that your body or your gut feeling tells you, "Nah, I'm not so sure," always something goes wrong. Always. So even if rationally, so that being said, I'm not making my decisions based on gut feeling. I do apply the gut feeling. But I'm very rational, especially when it comes to business. So there are two different things, but that doesn't mean they are parallel. So they do emerge. They not merge.
Yeah, I like to call that we have actually three brains, right? So it's our intellect, our heart, and our guts. And I think that if we make decision aligned with all those three things, they're the best decision for us and for the business, because ultimately we are running this business, right? So we need to be in a great shape, but it has to serve us in order to serve others.
Maybe it's also a thing of taking responsibility, because if you're working for a corporate or a bigger, like if you're just an employee, let's put it like that, you're not responsible, right? You just have your own slice that you need to take care of and deliver. However, if you are, even in a corporate, if you're a manager or in a leadership position, or when you have your own business, this shifts because you are responsible. Even if you're a solopreneur, you're responsible for your income, for your health, for, like, you can't blame anyone else besides you. Of course, you're gonna blame other people, that's human nature, but you're seeing things differently. You're the one making the decisions and executing them, or delegating, or whatever, but you are in charge.
Absolutely. And when you said at the beginning how you use your energy and how you run your first business, and now when you're running your business, what's different? What's different, and what is the wisdom that you gain over the years?
So definitely my team is bigger now than it used to be. Even if at that point I didn't consider I have a team, but I was working with external parties, and now I do see them as my team as well. So a lot of things like that changed. I think I learned how to be a leader. I understand how these things go, because at that point you're just doing everything and nothing. And honestly, I had no idea what I was doing. Um, but I knew, like, oh, I need to have the website, and I need to take pictures, and I need to write the text, and I need to do that and that and that. Now you're thinking more rationally. And of course, now I have different projects, different teams that you need to manage, and you understand, hey, that's one thing for the business. And you I don't know if compartmentalizing is the right word, but you're seeing the bigger picture. You're actually seeing it in a structured way. Whereas at the beginning, you were just, I think it's the story of any startup. If you're listening, you're just doing everything and nothing and everything in between, and you have no idea what will end up being there. But now you actually have a direction, and you have a planning, and you're seeing things differently, more structured. Maybe that's the right way to say. And then where do I actually need to be present, and where I don't need to be present. Then like, what brings me joy, in what side of my business I want to be involved fully or more, or which parts I actually don't like or I'm not good at and should be externalized. When I say externalized, just to not doing them yourself.
Yeah.
So it can be externalized to a third party, but also to someone in your team.
So it is about being mature in managing your energy, seeing the bigger picture, serving your clients also in a different way. And I'm curious how you are serving your clients, how you're working, because it seems like that is a collaboration. There's a lot of collaboration, right? And so how that works in your business?
Well, we are always in touch with the clients, and the clients, of course, they have the final say, because I think we have this on the website as well. We can come up with the best strategy and the best marketing campaigns and plans, but if the client doesn't take them on board or doesn't agree with them, they will never be implemented, and they will never be gonna bring results, because it's, again, we go back to the source. The source is the client and the story of the client and the brand and what you want to create. So it's very important to have a good relationship with your client, and this way it's very important to listen to your gut. Can I work with this person? Are our values in line? Can we do we actually have the same? We don't need to have the same purpose, but we do need to be in line in terms of what we believe in. And when I say that, I don't mean religious in a religious way, but I do mean in terms of values. What is important for us, because then it's a different approach. And I'm not saying if you have different values than me that you're not going to succeed. I'm not saying that at all, but probably I will not be the best person to help you reach your goals, because you can get to the same point following different roads, right? It's a matter of finding people and companies and brands you're connecting with and you understand.
So as you said, it is about that authenticity, because you prepare the strategy for your clients, and if they don't agree, of course, it's never going to be implemented.
But to prevent that, apologies, to prevent that, you do have, like, you start creating, you have check-ins.
Yeah.
Actually, everything starts, I'm always using this phrase, overwhelming. So I need to be in your head, basically. I need to understand
Oh.
how you feel, what do you feel about that? And you provide all the information and we start building. And we do have two ways, actually. One is we work for you. So you give everything, we create, we bring it, we discuss it, we adapt it, and we move to the next step. Or we work with you. So that means we guide you and you work. And actually, we are in process now to launch a marketing accelerator when we work with small cohorts, the up to around 8 people. So we have our attention. And we are helping you put your story into a strategy. It's a 6 weeks program, and create everything that you need. So you basically allocate 1 month, 1.5 months, actually 6 weeks, to create your yearly planning, and you have everything that you need just to move on and to move forward and to grow.
Okay. So are there startups or there entrepreneurs who are your clients in those cohorts?
Depend in the cohort. So again, for the cohorts, for the marketing accelerator, we work with solopreneurs or entrepreneurs or small micro companies, like up to 5 people, that they don't really have a proper marketing department. They usually have, or I'm learning now that even bigger ones, they have just no marketing, but 1 or 2 persons inside doing different activities, but they're not properly in line. So that will be for this audience. Whereas where we work with you, there are bigger companies, more mature companies, but still our main clientele is the micro to small businesses. And actually, we base conference this last year and also this year is created around them. The scale up, the brick and mortar type of companies. There are studies showing that this type of companies are the one contributing the most to the economy. Over 50% of the income, jobs, everything. However, the government and everyone is paying the less attention because they are just working, right? Why would we put effort into them? And for example, unicorns that everyone wants to be one or to follow. And if you really read what they stand for, is not that nice. All the attention and efforts go towards them.
Yeah.
So it makes no sense to me. So I decided, because my impact and how I want to show up and how I want to contribute is by helping these companies that actually have a social impact, and they are helping the economy and they are helping their neighbors. And usually you see them working with smaller companies and really having an impact.
And talking about the impact, because you're doing so much, and you're helping, as you said, solo entrepreneurs, micro organizations, startups, scale ups. So what kind of change or impact you hope to create in the field, in your field, in the world that you're serving? So how does this vision drive your daily actions and decisions?
I think the best example is the marketing accelerator that we are launching, because I want to make marketing accessible to everyone. That being said, you're going to come and say, but there are so many programs and everything is out there. And it's true, but what is lacking is the structure. And everyone is doing, actually, if you speak with people, they will say marketing is social media. When I will say, no, that's just a small piece of it. So what I focus is on the structure, on the strategy, on the planning. And everyone is actually running when they hear this word, or they will stop listening. They will like, this is not for me. I just want results now. Well, that's actually sales. That's something else. But in order to do sales, you do need a good structure, and you need to be able to tell your story and to show up properly. And this is what I want to make accessible. And from the beginning, when I launched Spin Ideas, I started writing 1 article per week. I stopped. I need to restart. I know. And the purpose of all of these articles and the online networking that we are organizing monthly, the content that we provide there and the people we bring, is to actually educate them, to provide them a different way of reaching their audience, to build strategic partnerships, to actually learn what they need to do, to give them the tools. And bottom line, everything is, if you have the good structure, then you can add a lot of things to it. You can add the social media. Then you can go and do the growth hacking courses and everything that exists out there. But if you don't have the structure where to plug in all of this, what's the point? Like, think about a Christmas tree. Like, you have all these beautiful ornaments that you keep on buying, but if you don't have the tree where to place them, or a structure where to place them, what do you do with them? It's
Yeah.
the same.
Okay. And I'm really curious because I want to go to that structure, because I think that I wanted to also make it clear for our audience. So when you say that, because those solo entrepreneurs, like for example myself, like, so we are doing everything for of every aspect of the business. So if I'm coming, so what kind of structure would I get?
So the program and the structure is actually the SPIN methodology. So there are 4 very simple steps. And the first one, the program is more complex than that, but that's the structure. The first one, it's actually called It's All About You. And I like to compare it with personal development, for example, because if you are not clear on who you are, and how do you want to show up, what do you want to present, what do you want people to know about you, how do you expect others to know? So that's the first part, and it's that's one of the pillars that you start building, because everything will gonna come from here. The second step is actually understanding your audience, and makes perfect sense, right? But how we do approach it is from a human-centric perspective, because you're not selling to a profile, you're selling to an individual. And that individual, of course, you need to know the geographic, the age, income. Of course, you need to do that. But what we do, we go a step further. How do they think? What's the comfort zone where they are, where they go to get an advice when they need to make a decision? Who influenced them? Which channels are they spending time? And that will provide you a different perspective, a different understanding of that target audience. We call them avatars. And we give them names. Because then you know, why should I spend money on Google Ads where I could actually become a member of, I don't know, maybe they are big fans of a specific business club. Maybe your money will be better spent there, or sponsor a conference, or do something that is actually doesn't involve monetary side. So it provides different information and different ways, innovative ways and creative ways to reach them. So we have us, we have the audience, and then here we need to set up goals. And I like to make this conversation like, think you're going on holidays, right? We were discussing before this about holidays.
Yeah.
One way how you prepare your luggage if you go to the seaside, and differently if you go to the mountains, right? One will include a bathing suit and flip-flops, and one will include probably a windbreaker and some good hiking boots. So there are 2 different things. And 1 year, maybe you want to focus on something, the next year will be about something else, or it doesn't matter. But if you don't know the direction, you don't know what tools, what you need to bring with you. And if you know where you go, you know who you are, you know who you're targeting, the first step is the fun part. You're connecting all of this. And again, everyone has access to the same tools, right? The same tactics, strategies, tools. We are not reinventing the world, because there are way too many things out there as they are. So my invitation and what we do is be creative. Choose the ones that actually you feel comfortable using them, and speak to your clients, or to your audience, or if they, for example, if you hate writing but you're amazing at videos like this one, just do that. And you can be creative in case your audience prefers reading instead of listening. Use tools and you have everything in writing and you deliver what they need. So, but if you don't know what you're good at and what brings you joy, or where your energy, because if you put too much energy into a video that you hate doing, that will show up. So you can reverse engineer the process. So the first step is choosing and start planning, because marketing is a marathon. So that means you need consistency and you need planning. So if you know where you want to go, you start breaking down per quarter, per month, per week, per day, and you start allocating time, money, budgets. You start deciding who is in charge of what, if you have a small team or if you have, and when I say team, it's not that you're hiring them. Maybe you have different partners outside that you are working with. Maybe you have almost everyone that I know has an accountant. That's still part of your team, actually. Or maybe you have an intern that's still part of your team. Or maybe you work with an editor or videographer, or I don't know. There are so many options. So these are part of your team, even if they're not necessarily on your payroll or you have different other understandings. So what you need to do is, how do you utilize all these resources that you have, and how do you place them? And then you get clarity and everybody knows what they need to do or what is expecting from them in what time. And then you can have the consistency, and then you can look at the results. And then you can actually start improving and say, this is working, this is not working. Why is not working? Is it because of my content, or is it because of the a platform I'm using, or maybe my product needs change, or whatever. There are so many cases.
Yeah.
But if you don't have a structure, everything is guessing. And you don't even know where the disconnect is happening.
Absolutely. So it's like, as you said, the guessing and hoping, and then doesn't get the results.
Exactly.
When you have that structure, you can start gathering the data. And once you have the data, you can have a better decision.
Yeah,
Because it's
you
like,
can
oh,
create
that might
process.
not work, or this is what I'm good at. It's like, those are results I want to see. So then you can direct your energy, your time, and money into that aspect.
Exactly.
So because we have a platform, so if you would like to get clients for that accelerator, how would you invite them to join you and to build that structure for their business?
Next week, we are actually launching the program, but we do have a waiting list at this point. I said we are taking just 8 people because we provide that attention. Otherwise, what's the point? Actually, the cohort starts in July, 8th of July, and we can share the link to the waiting list, like show your interest, and we're going to contact you, and we have a one-on-one to see where you are and what you need. And this program basically has a lot of one-on-ones with me. As well as working team. You have the materials, and we have like theoretical part, if you want to call it like that, but it's a lot of practice. And I, as you said, I did provide workshops to quite a lot of accelerators and mentoring. So I took what I worked with my clients plus my learnings from this, and I put it together to get the results, and what I learned, like what is really working and how can you get more inspiration and see, when you're driving and you have that angle, like how can I was thinking, how can we overcome that, because we have it in our business as well. And all of those learnings, I apply them to this program.
Wonderful. So it is gathering all the knowledge and all the experience you have over the years and simplifying them and putting in the right structure for your clients. Wonderful.
So think about, like, I enjoy knitting. It's the same. You start with something simple, and once that you have the basics, you can start going crazy, right? And do whatever you want. Or salsa dancing. First you get the first steps, and then you can go crazy and like learn whatever. I hope I'm gonna get to that level. But here is the same. What we give you is we teach you the basics, and we do that with you. And then we can start adding and put more spices, or like spicing the food that is quite bland, but you have the basis and the basic thing you can build upon.
Yeah. So you need to cover your base in order to have a little bit of a fun and experiment, as we said at the beginning, right? So that is about that experiment, but you need to know, you need to know the basic rules to do this.
Exactly. Let's say the basics are, who are you, who's your audience, and where you want to go. And then we spice it up then we start playing. So don't expect it to be something bland, because no, we don't like that. You do need that in order to be able to create.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Veronica, I'm really curious. Is there anything that if you had a time machine and you go back to maybe Veronica starting her own first business, or maybe earlier, what would you say to yourself? What kind of a piece of advice would you say to young Veronica?
Don't stress so much.
Oh.
Don't stress so much. Everything will be fine in the end.
Mhm.
There's always a solution. So yeah, don't stress so much.
Mhm. And I think that it's a great message. Do not stress so much, because today, in today's world, we are just really overstressing, and there's so many factors that are just playing a role in our lives. We're juggling a lot of roles, responsibilities. So I would say that is also a message for today for all of us. So do not stress so much, because there is a solution for everything, and be wise with where you're putting your energy.
And I think if you're not so stressed, you are able to detach a little bit and to see that different perspective that I kept on saying, and to actually see the solution. And that if you combine it with listening to your guts and like, okay, I really feel that that's the direction, that it makes it easier. But yes, when you're too stressed, you're gonna freeze. Usually you freeze. And
Yeah.
or you you have the freeze, froze, or fight, right?
Yes, yes, one
It,
of those three. And then indeed, I think that just sometimes stepping back and grounding yourself in the situation and that particular moment will allow us, all of us, to see the situation for what it is,
yeah.
not for what we imagine it is.
And maybe another important small advice will be to just have accountability partners, or not necessarily accountability, but have a group, a mastermind, or accountability group, or just I'm trying to find a different name that a group of people that you meet regularly just to discuss the business, and can have different shapes and forms and name it however you want. But that will help you. That will actually help you get yourself out of the stress zone sometimes, or provide a different perspective, or just maybe if you're too relaxed, to tell you, hey, maybe you should think twice about this, because the opposite can happen as well, depending on your personality. I think here we can give more advice.
Yes. So I would say, like, finding your tribe, people who root for you when you're successful, but they can also be in a corner with something is not right, and can give you different perspectives, and show you that maybe there is something possible that you don't see, because we all have our blind spot and we think in a certain way. So having that tribe, accountability buddies, depends how we want to call
Differentiate,
them.
yes,
Yes,
exactly.
but someone who is around you, who can support you, who can give you that piece of advice: slow down, speed up, or just like now it's a
Take
moment
a
to
holiday.
breathe.
And I
Or
think
go on holidays, right?
it's very important, though, to not surround yourself only with cheerleaders,
Oh no.
because then you have a bigger issue in my perspective. Because if everybody tells you everything is amazing, then you will not be able to improve or to grow.
Yes. Yeah,
So always,
absolutely.
when actually the best things come out of harder situations, if I can call them like that, or think about the COVID, how many, I'm not diminishing, it was horrible, but how many business pivoted, and how many good things came out of that, and how creativity showed up.
I think that as a human beings, as a we are very resilient and we are very adaptable, and when the situation comes and we have the moment to think about it, we are able to find a solution, to pivot in our personal life, pivot in our business. There is a possibility to do that, right? And as you said, like, without those harsh and low moments, we wouldn't have that success, we wouldn't have the high moments, we wouldn't be able to appreciate them. So I would say that, well, entrepreneurial journey is like that. And there is a beauty in it, and that's for sure. It's not for everyone, because you have to have, as you said, it's a lifestyle. You need to accept things that are outside of your control.
You need to accept something can happen, and overnight you lose all your clients, and you need to come up with a solution to move forward.
Absolutely. So, Veronica, just wrapping up our beautiful conversation, and thank you for sharing. There's so much wisdom in what you shared today, and I really love it, because you're saying is what you're saying, and the way you are saying it's such a calm way that I'm already like, okay, I'll be fine. No matter what's going to happen, there is a solution. And I am just really, now it's going to be imprinted in my brain, and I love what you're saying and how you're saying. And I'm curious, is there any legacy that you wish to leave behind?
Ooh, that's a hard one. I never saw myself with being so important that I have a legacy. But maybe what I want is what I said on this program, and actually the conference and everything that I created, is to put people together to help them create. Honestly, why Base was created, because we were growing our company, and we were like, what the heck are we doing here? So let's get smarter people in the same room and learn from them. So basically it's the same, and the program is based on the same structure. So everything is about just don't stay alone in a corner, just join a community and start creating. And what I want you to leave is maybe that infrastructure to help them create, to help them communicate. And if you actually look at everything that we did, is about that, connecting people, connecting ideas, connecting everything, honestly. So that's if you really look at everything that we have, that's the core idea.
So that is the common theme.
Yeah, if you provide the right resources, everybody can grow. It's our mission is to provide the right environment for entrepreneurs to follow their passion. We do that by providing the infrastructure and by providing the knowledge so they can actually do what they want, or we do it for them so that they can do that. The Base conference has the same thing, the online networking with the spin, and now we recently joined and we are organizing the AI meetup. Everything is the same. Let's put people together, provide the right resources so they can actually grow.
Beautiful. Thank you. So if you're watching this and you're interested how to build that structure as to Base, to have some fun and to spice things up in your business, go and check the link to Accelerator program. And if you want to have a different type of collaboration, because that's what at the core of everything what Veronica is doing. There's also going to be a link to the website. Go and check. There are so many wonderful things, and I only can recommend working with Veronica. So go and check, and yeah, just connect.
Thank you so much for having me. It's always a pleasure to see you, and this was a very lovely conversation. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.